What's up guys, on this episode some beautiful surroundings, some technical terrain during the fat bike race, more technical terrain, are fat bikes really faster on the snow than a trail bike, and my biggest mistake during that race. And start. So this is the race, you've seen the prologue to this race. It was the night ride, awesome ride really. It was a week ago on Saturday, and this is the fat bike race, 30 kilometers mountain bike race. As you can see, most of these bikes are fat bikes. We were just about 110 riders there. My tactic at the beginning was to not to start at the beginning, so that the fat bikes would just give me the way on the snow, so that the snow, you know, wouldn't be that deep when I get there. But it just turned out that I would go and pass most of the riders during the first like 3 kilometers even, and then the fight for the rest 26 kilometers would be with maybe 3 or 4 riders. So that was it. It was a great weather. It was -1 degree Celsius, I think. I had so much fun, but also a couple of thoughts about fat bikes and trail bikes. I'm riding my Merida 140 with 2.6 Maxxis tires, and I'm feeling great on the snow. This is not a deep snow. You will see maybe somewhere on the ice that fat bike would be better to maneuver, a little bit better, but I was surprised that my bike was doing just so well here. And fat bikes, well, I think they were having same kind of problems when it was just slippery or the snow was deeper. So you're gonna see that just in a second. This was a mad just below the snow surface, and you can see one of the guys which I just went past. He's getting back to the front, but you're gonna see the climb in the minute, and this is the climb. You can already see some guys in the front just running with their bikes, and you can see here that those guys on the fat bikes would struggle as much as I would. This is steep climb, you don't see it on the video, but they didn't have that much of a grip. My tires 2.6, amazing, really amazing. Even though the Rivalry is not my favorite one, I'm gonna do the review of it. This is my buddy Przemek on the left side. He's changed his outfit, so I didn't recognize him. But then he will just get on my rear wheel and say, "Dan, what's up? Here is me." So then we would go for a couple of kilometers together. This was very interesting because you basically had 2 lines, and in order to just ride faster than other guys in front of you, you need to change the line, which is very difficult because this is ice. We are now riding just on the ice, so passing all those riders would not be an easy thing. So maybe I would be better off starting just like in the top 10, top 20 on the starting line. But anyway, a lot of fun. Those fat bikes are rigid bikes, front and rear, even though the tire is giving them some how do you call it? Well, it's not a kind of suspension, but let's say it's like 4 centimeters of the suspension. There is no rebound, so they are really bouncing. This is my buddy Przemek, who just got to my wheel. Now he's on the side, on the left side. We're gonna ride for some kilometers together. This is him, the yellow and blue. This track needs full focus. You need to stay concentrated on the track, because even just one hole filled with ice and you're done. So you can either use a couple of seconds, or you can just crash and damage your bike or yourself. As you can see, the fat bikes here, they also struggle. It's not that easy just riding on this terrain, even though you have just over 3 inches tires in the width. So there was lots of kilometers on this on this type of snow and mud and ice. This is my buddy Przemek. I'm just getting back on his rear wheel, and this is just wonderful bridge. It is pretty narrow and not that easy to balance on it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We are now like I think it's about 15 kilometers from the Czech Republic border. This is Poland, so southern Poland, and it is amazing. I love the mountains. Now there are some drops, and now the technical terrain, which on the full suspension bike it just felt amazing. My friend Przemek is just letting me go on the left side. Thanks so much, because he lost a lot of seconds. It was like a minute or even more, so it took him a lot of time to get back to my rear wheel. Now this guy isn't really fast. He's not riding the fat bike, as you can see. This is the like ordinary cross-country hardtail. Is it hardtail? I think so. 29er must be. Everyone is now riding 29ers. Guys, 27.5. Sometimes it's just better. It's just better in my opinion. So I'm just trying to find some... This is full suspension? No, what is it? What is it? I'm trying to find some space in order to just pass this rider, and I found it. And it was amazing. So let's just listen to the tires and the terrain and the suspension working. We are riding on side.
On side.
I mean, at least me, so I didn't know the track. And the problem was I haven't checked on the map the last 3 or 4 kilometers, which is the bummer. You'll see that. So we are climbing now. Przemek and the other guy are trying to just make up those lost seconds or minutes, maybe a minute or two, something like that. And now the first guy is already here. He just attacked me. I did not respond. I don't have my computer. My Mio is over, so it doesn't work. So I don't have a computer. I don't know how much time I'm riding. I don't know how many kilometers are done. I'm gonna be just asking different people on the way. So I'm trying to conserve energy, but still I don't ride like very slowly. This is really serious tempo on such a terrain, and there was a lot of climbing on this course. So tires, 2.6 tires. Look at this. Okay, Przemek got back to my rear wheel, and he was also struggling on this corner. Now we have the fat bike guy. He's faster here, so we have the ice, because this snow here is melting during the day and freezing during the night, and that's the worst thing you want to have under your bike, because the surface isn't really, you know, flat. It's not even. So when there is some ice and some bumpy surface, it is very difficult to maneuver your bike. Anyway, Przemek and this fat bike rider are just ahead of me, and I'm riding 2.6 tires. I think 2.35 would be okay, but these 2.6 are like enduro strong tires. Great. This is very bumpy meadow, and all the time they would make like in front of me. I just made up right here. So on this, I think it was like 200-300 meters meadow, super bumpy. I'm just getting there. So Przemek is riding cross-country hardtail. The fat bike rider is riding fat bike, which is, you know, on the bumpy terrain, it is horrible, really. This is rideable here. This was rideable. We could have just ridden through. And now I can see clearly that my full suspension bike just let me save some energy. So I'm passing the fat bike rider, but after a couple of minutes he's recovering, and now when we get to a little bit higher speed down the hill, those heavier fat bikes were just riding a little bit faster. And I think I'm done with Przemek and this guy. I'm still able to see them just ahead of me, but I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to close in. And now we are gonna get through some beautiful terrain. Yeah, I thought I would just catch them once more, because look at this one. I'm loving this. I'm really loving this. So let's just look at the terrain. So much fun, so much fun. Big drop. This is a big one, really big one. And maybe you've noticed I haven't dropped my dropper post here. Okay, and now we have pretty steep climb right there with the roots and rocks. So we weren't able to ride there. These two guys ahead of me, I think these are just some tourist cyclists, so they are not racing here. And flat pedals would be the choice for this race. Definitely, I'm riding SPDs. Flat pedals would be just better and faster. Now, very important observation, using the right line when you're riding on site, so you don't know the track, it really takes time to make the decisions. So learning how to read the track is super important. This is my biggest mistake. This is the feeding zone. I'm just asking them, this is 16th kilometer, and I thought, okay, I think we are done with the climbing. Now it's gonna be flat and down the hill to the finish line. Which was just the opposite. The most of the climbing was on the other half of the race, so I didn't take anything to drink, anything to eat. So this was the newbie mistake, and I'm gonna be paying for that just at the last 4 kilometers. I'm still feeling great here, but the last kilometers will be horrible. You'll see why just at the end. So all this mud and these corners here, you need to be focused. You need to stay focused. So guys, the guidelines I made for you on the forum, on my blog, about 24 hours racing, that's a lot about focus. You need to stay focused, because the longer you ride, the less concentration you have, and the easier it gets for you to crash, which you don't want to do, right? Climbing once more. Climbing. Now I have there's a stretch ahead of me. I see Przemek and the other guy, but I'm not gonna be able to do it, to make it. So this is a lot of mud. This is quite difficult to climb here. But my tires, no problem. I don't think on the fat bike I would just climb better there. Here I couldn't see anything. A lot of mud in my eyes, and another nice descent. I'm loving those. Some rocks are covered with ice. Some are just like really wet. Staying focused, reading your line, making the right decisions, and knowing when to turn, when to slow down before the turn begins. These are the crucial thoughts you have to have in your mind. But it was amazing. I loved it. So 150 millimeters of travel in the front, 140 in the rear, a soft with just over 30 millimeters of sag. Felt amazing with these tires. Great, so much fun. So the last 4 kilometers, I think like 800 meters maybe, before the finish line were the downhill, but the 3 kilometers now is the uphill only, and it's a steep one. No food, no drink, and I am drained with energy. So this is the part of the race where I lost three or four positions here. So I came 18th out of 105 riders who finished the race. The oldest one was 74 years old. So this was amazing. Thanks so much for watching. The next episode will be the full race if you want to watch it, and then some other vlogs of mine. Bye.